everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So today I've decided I wanted to revisit or continue with my Christmas altered book. Now, I started this before Christmas last year, and well, it is July, so I kind of started thinking about the whole Christmas in July thing, and I am kind of between projects at the moment. So while I was cleaning my craft space, I picked this up and I went, this would be a really, really good time to start working on it again. So I've decided I wanted to have a little play today. I have picked out some papers, but aside from that, I don't necessarily have a whole lot in mind. Now in the front, I've popped my templates. So they're just sitting in there so I don't lose them or use them for something else. So I'll just flip you through what we've done so far. Even though I did this, it was probably early this year that I did my last video, revisiting it and flicking through the pages, I still love it so much. I had a little look through before I turned the camera on, and I was just like, oh, it just makes me happy every time I look in here. So I'm excited to start playing. I think this was my last page from memory. Yes, it was. So pretty. Okay, so flipping over. Now, I think I'm going to leave this page plain and perhaps put a pocket or something onto the front. I haven't decided exactly. This one here, I've picked up one of the pages that I've torn out, and I'm just going to create a template. So I'm just going to fold this in half, and I'm going to, whoops, try and keep it flat, and just eyeballing roughly so it's center. Take a little snip out of there. And I'm going to use that as a guide. The other thing I want to do is I want to fold it actually in half all the way, because that will help me when I get to the gluing stage. Okay, so with that in mind, so keeping this page plain, this one here, I want to use my template. And I'm going to punch those holes, whoops, at the top. So I apologize if this is an awkward angle for you. You don't want to stay there, do you? Let me help you. Okay, now maybe I can concentrate on what I'm doing. And I'm just going to punch there. It's not exact, but it's a rough guide. Partly because it's shifting as I go, but that's okay. I felt like I was going to have my head in the camera just then. Now let me see. Don't feel like that hole punch slipped in there very well. It didn't. Maybe the big punch is not the way to go. Okay, lesson learnt. It doesn't quite slip in there so easily. I'll go this way. That worked a little bit easier. The round part was just a little bit too bulky to fit into the area I needed to fit into close to the spine, but that's worked fine. As you can see, they're not exact, but that's okay. That gives us a guide. I might take just a fraction more out of this one, I think. Whoops, and it's stuck. Awkward. Hasn't quite cut clean. Kind of tore my page. That was a little unfortunate. Where are my little scissors? Just here. Never mind. We will work with it. Okay. I am left wondering what I'm going to do with that little section there. Actually, my cover paper might cover that all together. Okay, I think I can make that work. Okay, so today's papers, I'm using these two from DigitalCurio, and I forgot to check which pack they came from. I have flipped through these papers before, I think, so I'm not going to worry too much about making sure I give you the correct pack. But if you pop over to DigitalCurio's page, you'll be able to see all of their linen kits, and I really love them for this altered book. So, and then this is the paper that I've chosen. It's from the, I think it's called the Old Victorian Christmas kit from AntiquePaperie. Just looking for the correct pack so I can confirm that for you, and of course it's like the last one that I choose. So I think those papers may be from the Grunge Linen digital paper pack from DigitalCurio. I'm pretty sure it's the Old Victorian Christmas or Victorian Christmas kit from AntiquePaperie. I'm going to use that page for my focal points on these papers. So okay, let's get to playing and gluing and all the fun things. So I'm just going to tear off my edges all the way around. I hope you're all fabulous. I certainly am. And as I mentioned, in one of my last videos, I've been busy cleaning and sorting and organising, and it's such a good feeling. I am beyond ready to get back to crafting. I do need to share with you that my printer has been being fixed. So it's been, oh golly, 2 or 3 weeks, I think, that I've been without a printer, and it was playing up at least a week, possibly 2, before it went off to the repairs shop. So I kind of feel like I've had my left crafting arm removed. I didn't realize how much I relied on it being right here for me to use whenever I needed it, until it was gone or not working. So really missing it. And I'm hoping to have it back real soon. I've had a call to say it's ready, so fingers crossed we'll be back and operating very soon. And I must say, the person who has fixed it for me has been so lovely. I've had such a pleasant experience, which has been so phenomenal. I'm hoping that's straight. It's a test for the eyes to see if it's roughly straight. Okay. So that's always a good thing. To have a really lovely person to deal with is always such a joy, especially when things haven't gone quite right. And, you know, it does create a little bit of stress. Isn't really the right word, because I must say I was stressed to start with when I didn't know if it could be repaired. That did trouble me some, but I'm just relieved that it can be fixed, and so grateful. Hooray for people knowing what they're doing. That's all I can say. So bottom line is I've had to have the print heads replaced on my printer. But it's interesting because when I wasn't sure if it could be fixed and I was at that slightly stressed stage, I was kind of thinking, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll have to get a new printer. And so I found myself faced with the question, if I buy a new printer, what would I buy? And straight away I thought to myself, I would get the same printer again. So no questions asked. And then I was speaking to a family member and they said something and I said exactly the same thing to them, and they went, really? And I said, yes, I would get exactly the same printer. I said, I love that printer. So I really didn't have to think much about that to know the answer. But thankfully, I don't have to. Anyway, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to ArtJunk with Steph, because as you know, I'm on her design team, and also to Minxie at Northern Craftaholic UK. A huge shout out to both of them. I'm on their design teams and they've been incredibly understanding. I have felt so bad because I haven't been able to partake this month. And they've just been really lovely. So thank you ladies. You've helped alleviate a lot of my stress, because I must say that was part of the reason I was so worried. I was like, I've just joined these design teams and now I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't do any crafting because I can't print your kits, which has broken my heart a whole lot. But anyway, hopefully back on task soon. But it was kind of nice to stop the crafting. Well, let me rephrase that. It wasn't nice to stop the crafting, but it was good to be in a position where I didn't really have a choice. So getting myself organized has been really wonderful. And don't be fooled, I'm not completely organized, but I'm certainly a much better case of organized than I was before all of this occurred. I'm actually waiting on some storage containers at the moment for a little bit more sorting and organizing, which I'm excited for. And I just keep telling myself, if I just keep plugging away, I'm just one step closer each time. With each little task that I undertake, I'm one step closer to being organized in my space, which is fabulous. I've seen desktops that I don't remember the last time I could see a desktop in my craft space, and discovered that I do actually still have desktop on my tables, so that's been lovely. And to come into a reasonably organized and tidy space when I'm about to start crafting, I don't know, there's something really almost relaxing about that. So I'm grateful to be in that position at the moment, hoping I can maintain it. Some of the sorting I've been doing is getting myself together, some storage for projects. Oh, I've completely messed that up. Okie dokie. Okay, going to turn this to the side. I forget what a large book this is. So for those who haven't watched before, I'm actually altering an encyclopedia book. And I really love the way it's coming together, and it's a much larger book than I've ever altered before. But I'm really enjoying the possibilities that offers too. So, okay, I'm looking for some paper towel. My hands are very tacky. Okay. And I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure that's adhered well. I really love that colour actually. I wasn't sure when I first looked. The reason I chose that colour, I'll share with you, was to pick up this little acorn. I thought that picked up that acorn really beautifully. So okay, so I'm just going to tear the edges off this piece. Now, as you all know, well, you may not know if you're relatively new, but I'm going to share with you, I'm not normally a huge orange and red fan. I have established, and I've shared with others before, I've established that there's certain shades of orange and red that I'm not keen on, and they are the brighter tones, but I really am enjoying the more burnt oranges and reds, those vintage oranges and reds. So where I'm not normally a huge fan of orange, I really love the oranges on this paper. Whoops, that didn't go so well. So using this paper is stepping out of my comfort zone a little as far as colour is concerned, but I do like that it challenges me in that respect. And the papers are gorgeous, so I know I'm going to love it once it's in my book. I'm a little bit sad that I tore that accidentally, but just roughly looking for center, and I'm just wanting to tear this in half. I'm not sure exactly if that was half, and I'm not going to check because it could possibly mess with my head if it's not, but that's okay. Oh, my sponge needs replacing again already. How does that happen? Okay, so because this is torn, I'm going to pick up on that tear. I don't want to hide it. I'm just going to let it show itself. As I've said before, I love the vintage and the rustic look, so I kind of feel like that adds to it. So I may as well work with it. Now, before I attach that, oh gosh, that's really pretty. That's prettier than I was expecting. Love it when a plan comes together. I was wondering if I wanted to add something to that to lift or enhance, but I don't think I do. I think I really like it just like that. I wonder if I want to... I thought about popping a pocket at the bottom, but I don't want to cover this. So if I did a pocket maybe that size, I have no idea what I'm going to make the pocket out of to tie in with those colours. Just looking at the scraps I have. Okay, before I move forward, I want to think about what I'm doing in the next part of my step. So, what do I have to go with these papers? Not in that. So these are cards from the same Victorian Christmas kit. Maybe even something like this. No, it's taking away too much. And I think they will all be the same. I need something that's going to be landscape rather than portrait in orientation. So that kind of rules these out. These are little envelopes. No, I don't like that either. I'm not really sure I want to do anything on this page, or whether I just want to leave that decorative. My other option . Part of the thing I really love about this page is it has cooler tones, and I feel like the calico is too warm for it. So, okay. So I have this white lace, which is oh so pretty. I feel like this is the answer I've been looking for. I think I might glue that onto the bottom as a pocket. Okay, I like that a lot. I also like that I can see all of the image through that lace, so I'm not actually, as much as I'm putting something over it, I'm not completely shutting out the image that I can't see the bottom, because that was upsetting me with the calico. I couldn't see the bottom of the image on the paper. Oops, so So just attaching, sorry, just applying my glue. I'm not attaching anything yet. That's the next part of the step. And I need to be careful of my little tear. I would like or prefer not to detach it all together, but we do use a lot of glue for this book. It's very large indeed. Okay. Oops, I went to pick up my paper towel, but I was actually reaching for the lace. That won't work, Sharon. I don't know how well you can see, there's some wrinkling in the paper. It's because of the paper that's in the encyclopedia. It's quite thin paper, and I don't know whether it's partly because it's been left for so long since I did the other side, and that may firm up once this glue dries a little bit too, because the glue is wet when I apply it. I'm hoping it will firm up a little bit. I know I don't notice it on these other pages, so I'm hoping that will be the case. Okay, and then lace goes this way. And I think I'll just cut it down this section here. There we go. Golly, you know those days where you feel like you're doing everything really awkwardly? That was that moment. So I haven't cut that terribly straight on either side by the look of it. Let's straighten you up a little bit. Well, hopefully that's what I'm doing. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Yes. Okay, I might use my fabric glue to adhere that. Sorry about that noise. Whoa. I'm going to have to clean that up. I think that's gone too far. It's running out. Just like I'm hoping I'm in camera. on this side. And I think I need a little bit more up here. And perhaps this end as well. I'll share with you, I've just got, this was a lace spool, and I realized that my glue will fit in there really, really easily. So it makes that awful noise, and I do apologize for that when I take it out. I'll have to see if I can make that hole just a fraction, whoa, bigger. Goodness me. My glue bottle's getting low. Not so low that obviously there's nothing in there, but low that it takes forever to get the glue to run down. And I thought that would be a really good way to store it so that I didn't have to wait, but now it's running out instead of just coming out slowly. So I'm not 100% sold on that idea just yet. Okay, sorry about that. I just had a phone call. So that pocket is attached now. It seems to be quite good. The glue isn't quite dry. I haven't been gone that long, but it's left a nice little tuck spot there. Pop something in there later. So moving on to the next page. I really love that. I love the simplicity of it, but it's really, really soft and pretty. Okay, so next page. We have this beautiful green. And again, I did check it against this paper, and I thought it worked beautifully with the lighter greens in the berries, or I think they're berries at the top. So that was why I went with this one. So just removing my white edges from around, oops, probably blocking the light with that. Removing my white edges from around this piece. All the way around. I'm just sitting here thinking, I can't remember if I was speaking about something when the phone rang, or I've got no idea. Sorry guys. So roughly about there. Just trying to find my fold. Come out, wherever you are. Where did I fold that there? Like all the lines look the same. I'm just kind of using the grid on my craft mat underneath as a guide, hoping that I get it slightly straight. And then is that far enough? I'll say about there. And we'll hope it's okay. Oops. Throwing things around. Like, where did I fold that? trying to make things easy for me because I keep losing the fold. Okay. Kind of looks really long and skinny, doesn't it? I haven't really done that very well. That's okay. I think I might pop it further towards the center when things don't go quite the way you planned, and I might pop a piece of lace or something down there to work with this on this side. That's what I'll do. Yes, when things don't quite go the way you plan, you just work around it. My head just suddenly went, now where is my lace? Because I've shifted things around. Got glue on my fingers. It's funny, you know, working on this altered book, I flip through my papers before I turn the camera on to start with you each time, so I can at least have the papers that I want to use organized. And with every page I've done in this book, picking out the papers has made me really excited about how the page will look. And then once I turn the camera on and I actually start crafting and putting everything into place, I'm suddenly going, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to make sure. Okay, so I need to bring that up to the side. So I'm using my template and I'm going to punch my holes for my tops before I glue it down. And then they won't be exact, and that's okay, because I'm pretty sure actually that I kind of shifted this one across. So if it's not exact, that's okay. Okay. So here's hoping it's not too bad. I'm going to add some ink here, and I actually have just realized that I didn't ink my pages before I did the other side, so I can go around and do that now before I forget. And I'm going to do this page as well, because this will be the inside of the pocket, and if there's any white edges showing, it will show once it's glued together. Oops, got some little pieces of tea stain paper at the top of my table. Okay, and I might go around the inside for the same reason. Once these two pages are glued together, if there's any white showing from this side, I will see it. So this is just to try and avoid that as much as possible. Okay, and then, oops, I don't know why I'm closing that. I need it. going to take my brush and just going to get into the join a little bit. Doesn't need to be perfect. That will do just fine. Okay, and so this, I think that will work fine. I'm just looking at the tear up here and I think that will help hold that in place. So, okay. So just gluing. All over with my glue stick. And of course the glue stick that I'm using is called a Bostik glue stick. It's my glue stick of choice. I do love that it goes on blue so I can see where I'm applying it and where I've missed. But I also love how it applies. I find it goes on, it's quite almost creamy, I guess would be the word I would use to describe it. When it's applied, it's quite a smooth application compared to other glue sticks that I've used. Some glue sticks that I've used in the past I've found a little bit tackier, and so they tend to grip hold of the paper a lot firmer than this does. This one just sort of glides across the top of it, so that's why I love it so much. So please do not stick to that, because I can't just go and print another one off. Okay. Now I'm just wondering which way around I'm better to go here, because I need to line up little holes. Not too bad, I don't think. As you can see, it's not perfectly straight. That's okay. I really love that colour too. And for those of you who haven't watched my first pages, part of the reason I'm using this backing paper is because some of the prints that I'm using, the digital paper prints, are not big enough. As you saw, this was a landscape page, so it's not big enough to cover the size of the encyclopedia page that I'm working on. And I find that backing papers are a really nice way to make that imagery really pop once it's on the page. And I'm going to pop this down about there. I think I'll get a new glue page. Love that. this book across, and I'm lining up properly with my page on my left, just to have a rough idea of where to place this image. But I'm also keeping in mind how centered I am horizontally. I'm pretty happy with that, which is just as well because that's where it was. I really love the contrast of the two. Whoops, whoops. Got excited. I'm excited about the pages. All thumbs. What can I say? Okay. And I'm thinking a little piece of lace. When I remember where I've put them. Don't know if that could work. No, I think I'll like the lace more. Oops, goes this way. I really like that, but I'm wondering. Nope, that's too much. I feel like that's a little bit more cream, which I didn't think it was. I kind of like the way it's hanging over the edge a little bit though. It is a contender for me. Let's see what else I have. This is similar. No, I don't like it as much. Okay. Oh yes, I feel like that's the winner. It's kind of reminded me, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it kind of has a shimmer, a slight shimmer about it, and it's reminding me of snowflakes, which I think is why I like the white lace over here. I'm going to cut that right through there. Okay. So I'm applying glue all the way around the edges. Whoops. Trying to go a little bit fast because it's coming out quite quickly. Okay. And I may just, I think, spread that out just a little bit. Orientation right. I want those flowers right along that join where my backing paper meets my encyclopedia paper. Just to give that impression that it's all meant to be together. Love it. Okay. To trim this up. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, and then using the template that I've made, I'm going to sit that so I'm just making sure that my edges are lined at the top and the bottom. I'm going to fold that in half, and then using my art glitter glue, it may take a moment for this to come down. Probably need to clean the top of it because I haven't used it for a little while. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to run my glue basically in line where that fold is. Whoops. I really had it in there well. I might go down it again. And then I'm going to go across the bottom. Oops, it's really coming out properly now. And up this side. Okay. And then bringing my book across or closed, I'm going to adhere that. A little bit of excess on the edge. Just trying to make sure it's sticking well where it needs to. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. And so we've created ourselves a spot for two long, very long bookmark type tags, which is really, really fun. Okay, now I haven't decided if I want to embellish that with anything else, so I'm going to leave this video here because I don't want to rush it. I love all of my pages so much, and this one here I've left quite plain and I love that. And for now I'm really happy with this. I may choose to do something else. I'm kind of looking at this space here and I'm wondering if I need something there, but for the minute I'm not really sure what that might be. I have no idea how long I've been videoing for, and I can't check because it's actually two separate videos now. And that's quite pretty, isn't it? I like that it picks up the blues, but it still has the greens. So what else do I have? It's a bit too busy. I don't think I want the tree, that's too busy. Whereas I feel like that's not busy enough. I don't want the same because that doesn't work. I'm sorry, I'm not even sure I had these in camera. I don't think the bird will work. Doesn't work for me either. I don't mind that because it has Let It Snow, which takes me to the laces, but I'm not sure the colours are working. This here in particular is kind of in contrast to the other green. Again, too busy. No, that's just a no. Christmas tree. I think these are the same again. So I'm thinking that one. My ink. I don't know. And if I don't know, I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to leave it sit like that for a moment, and perhaps next time I come, I will revisit then and decide whether I want to add that or not. Or I may have a really, really fun idea between now and then. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I really love those pages. I'm loving this book so much. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It feels like a new experience on every page, or a different story on every page, which I really love. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this. I really look forward to seeing you next time. Happy crafting, everybody. Bye for now.